Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Man United identify Declan Rice as prime midfield transfer target for next year's summer transfer window. Declan Rice is likely to leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. When the summer transfer window was open, it said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still wants Declan Rice. And when the summer transfer window was open, Declan Rice did mention that he was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. He's rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. He's got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. He's played 148 games. He's been with West Ham for a good 7 years or so. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. But the reasons he would be a good signing for Man United is because he'd fit in our team perfectly. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, and he's well proven in the Premier League. By the way, Chelsea are looking at other targets than Declan Rice. You know, Chelsea were relentlessly linked with him last year. Well, before West Ham, Rice was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got in Chelsea's first team. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo will start against Newcastle this Saturday. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Man United training in his 170,000 Lamborghini. Yesterday, Ronaldo trained with the team at Carrington, and Ronaldo reunited with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Carrington. He did recently say that Ronaldo's debut could be delayed because he had to isolate for 5 days. Last week, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived in Manchester. He got greeted by Darren Fletcher. Last week, Ronaldo praised Edinson Cavani's incredible gesture after shirt number swap. You know, Ronaldo is Man United's new number 7. Cavani has got the number 21 shirt. Ronaldo gave his first interview the other week, and he did mention that I'm very happy to be back home after 12 years. And he made it clear to Solskjaer that he's returned to win trophies. Ronaldo's told his new Man United teammates that he wants the Premier League this season. Solskjaer did mention that Man United are favourites for the title with Ronaldo. Solskjaer sees Ronaldo as a centre forward, and he said he'll be playing him there after the 1-0 win against Wolves before the international break. Don't forget, Ronaldo became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. But the other week, Ronaldo officially signed for Manchester United on a 2-year contract with an option of a 3rd year. Ronaldo will receive £480,000 a week, so he will be the highest earner at Old Trafford. Man United agreed a fee of €15 million. There's a further €8 million in add-ons, so that's €23 million in total. That equates to 19.7 million in pounds sterling. and the other week Ronaldo completed his medical. I can assure he's going to do really well in his second spell at Man United. Ronaldo could play for Man United until he's almost 40. He was our final signing of the summer transfer window. Ronaldo is the greatest player of all time. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. In Ronaldo's first spell at Man United, he scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. And he won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FIFA Club World Cup, the FA Cup and 2 League Cups. When we first got Ronaldo, we paid £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2003. Sold him to Real Madrid in 2009 for £80 million. So we gained a £68 million profit. He endured like 10 years at Real Madrid, so he was a long-serving player for them. And Juventus got him in 2018 for £88 million. He endured 3 years at Juventus. His current contract at Juventus was due to expire next year. Now, I want to give you some news on Fred. So, Fred is banned from Man United's next 2 matches under FIFA rules. I'll delve more into the article about this. That's if it lets me scroll down. So it says Fred is set to miss the next 2 Manchester United matches after the Brazilian Football Federation triggered FIFA rules to impose a 5-day ban on the Premier League sides who refused to release players for international duty this month. I'll read a bit more out to you. The Brazilian FA are looking to punish sides who refuse to let their players travel to red list countries over the international break by triggering a clause in FIFA rules which prevents players being selected from the 10th to the 14th of September. So Fred is going to miss the game on Saturday against Newcastle, and he's also going to miss the game in the Champions League against Young Boys. So reflecting on that, Donny Van Der Beek must start. Now, I was talking with you a lot about Donny Van Der Beek yesterday. Donny Van Der Beek has told Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his best position. Van Der Beek reckons he would be best served operating in the number 6 or in the number 8. Not so long ago, Van Der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. And Van Der Beek admitted he's prepared to keep fighting to earn his place in the Man United team and to remain part of Solskjaer's plans. Van Der Beek's agent has done a lot of talking. His agent did confirm that the player held talks with Everton over a move. He also said that the return of Ronaldo is bad news for Van Der Beek. And his agent fired a warning shot to Man United, saying play him in the Premier League or lose him. Last week, Van Der Beek's agent said that Van Der Beek will succeed at Man United and prove his doubters wrong at Man United this season. This is Van Der Beek's second full season at Man United. You know, last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van Der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. I haven't really had much of a perception on Van Der Beek at Man United, but in general he is a good player. We got him in a deal worth 40 million, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You know what? Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings in the summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 140 million in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer received the backing he deserved. John Murtough backed Solskjaer. John Murtough is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed Solskjaer. We made the right decision getting him back in. And surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers backed him only because they'd been persuaded to, because towards the end of last season a lot of United fans protested against the Glazers at Old Trafford, because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. But Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised. Back in June, which was earlier on this year, Joe Glazer did attend a fans forum and he assured that Solskjaer would get the funds that were available. But the reason the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Manchester United in so much debt. The Glazers have been with us for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. We didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window, which was a disappointment. And we only managed to sell 1 player, and that was Daniel James to Leeds. The reason we offloaded Daniel James is because we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. But like I've said to you, there's been quite a few midfielders on our agenda. As you all know, we still want Rice. When the summer transfer window was open, we went in for Ruben Neves from Wolves, because Fabrizio Romano mentioned on deadline day that Ruben Neves was only the midfield option for Man United, but he mentioned there was no current agreement with Wolves. Ruben Neves' price tag is 35 million and he receives like £50,000 a week. Ruben Neves can be deployed as a centre midfielder or a centre defensive midfielder. We also went in for Saul Niguez in the summer transfer window, but we didn't get him. Obviously, he ended up joining Chelsea on loan. And we also went in for Eduardo Camavinga. Obviously, he ended up signing for Real Madrid. In January, I'm expecting Man United to offload more players. And next summer, I'm expecting us to offload players. The players that need to go next year, we need to offload Anthony Martial. Don't forget, Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day. Martial is not good enough to represent the club. Martial has been at Manchester United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he receives £200,000 a week. Martial has scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. He's had 2 good seasons at Man United, and last season Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. I'm expecting Juan Mata to leave at the end of this season when his contract expires. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. We should have got rid of him in the summer transfer window. You know, Juan Mata doesn't get in our 11 and he's lost that yard of pace and he is aging up. Don't forget the first part of last season, Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. But Juan Mata has had a good career at Man United. He's been with us now for like 7 years or so. Got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. Edison Cavani is going to be leaving Man United at the end of the season, unless he leaves in January. Don't forget, on deadline day, Barcelona made an inquiry over signing Edison Cavani. Barcelona were in advanced talks, but Fabrizio Romano came out and mentioned that Cavani would not join Barcelona and he was not leaving Man United in the final hours of the transfer market. Back in May, Edison Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension and he receives £250,000 a week. But to Cavani's credit, he's made an impact since he's come in. I think next year we've got to offload Fred because I've got my strong reservations about Fred. You know, he's a static midfielder. He makes too many mistakes. And that's why. We overpaid for him. We got Fred in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. I think next year as well we've got to offload Nemanja Matic. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his chances. Got my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder and he's aging up. We got Matic in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. So Matic has been with us now like 4 years or so. We've got to offload Phil Jones next year. We should have offloaded him in the summer transfer window, but we didn't, because obviously it said that Phil Jones is set to stay at Man United this season after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. Jones made his comeback from injury in that behind closed doors game against Burnley, because Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player though at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. Jesse Lingard is another player we've got to offload in January. I'm disappointed he didn't leave in the summer transfer window. I give you the breaking news on Jesse Lingard yesterday. It said Jesse Lingard rejects a new Man United contract offer. Over playing time concerns. Despite him having a year left on his deal. In the summer, Lingard snubbed a return to West Ham. Last season, Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and made an impact. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer confirmed that Lingard remains part of his plans, despite the ongoing speculation. Not so long ago, Lingard had COVID. Towards the end of the window, though, it said that West Ham were preparing a £15 million bid for Lingard, and Everton were also preparing an offer. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. You know, he's been with us since 2000, so he's been with us 21 years. I think he's been in our senior squad since 2011. We wanted 25 million for Lingard in the summer transfer window. Diego Dalot, I also want us to get rid of him next year. Diego Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. I wanted him to leave in the summer transfer window. At one point, it did say that Borussia Dortmund were in advanced talks to sign Diego Dalot. They were interested in a loan with an option to buy next summer, and 2 other clubs were in for him. But towards the end of the window, it said Diego Dalot is very likely to stay at Man United. Last season, he was out on loan with AC Milan. So there you go. We did loan quite a few players out in the summer transfer window. We loaned Brandon Williams out to Norwich. We loaned Andres Pereira out to Flamengo. We loaned Ethan Laird out to Swansea. We loaned Axel Tuanzebe out to Villa. We loaned Tahith Chong out to Birmingham. And we loaned Facundo Pellistri out to Alaves. Like I said to you not so long ago, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. And like I've said to you, we do have a title winning squad, so the time for excuses is over. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. Don't forget, Solskjaer privately views Chelsea as Man United's biggest title rival, ahead of Liverpool and Man City. What a remarkable achievement it would be, though, if Man United were to win the Premier League this season. So far this season, we have registered 7 points from our first 3 league games. We've won 2 and drawn 1. And we are sitting 3rd in the Premier League at the moment. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. This is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, and Solskjaer is aware of how big this season is for him. Ole has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. I'll stick to what I said in regards to Solskjaer. He's not the long-term manager for Man United, despite us enjoying a good summer transfer window. But Ole does deserve at least this season. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and I reckon we made a mistake giving him that new contract. We should have waited until the end of this season, or the midway point of this season, to decide or not whether to give him the new contract. Because Ole must have had like 7 or 8 months left on the current contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. Like I said to you, my 2 biggest concerns about Ole: he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, but that doesn't mean he can't succeed as Man United manager. And my other big concern is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There's also positives as well regarding Ollie. You know, in certain aspects he's brought consistency back. You can see that progress has been made under Ollie, because he's got us to like semi-finals, got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season. So there you go, and got us a second place finish last season in his first full season, got us a third place finish. I think our recruitment's been good under Ollie. You know, Ollie has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager and spent around 441 million in total. Also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he's got rid of quite a lot of players permanently. He's also loaned quite a few players out. I like the way he develops the youth, and Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. So there you go. But reflecting how long Ollie's been at the club, he's gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job, and he's been in charge of Man United now for almost 3 years. The reason Ollie is still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job, because we've enjoyed very bad periods under him where he's been close to getting sacked. But he is our best manager since Ferguson. I give you the news on Richard Arnold. The other day, Sky Sports News said that Man United are close to appointing Richard Arnold as Ed Woodward's successor as the new chief executive. Should be announced in the next couple of weeks. A lot of United fans have got reservations about Richard Arnold. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.